Do I need to make a coconut butter mochi cake? No. Am I going to make a butternut? I'm sorry, butternut. A butter mochi cake? Yeah, at least half of one. I have this coconut sugar that I brought back from travels like a while back. I'm trusting that it's still good. I've been using it, but not fast enough. And so I thought I'd keep it the theme. Coconut milk, coconut sugar. So it's been creamed. It looks more like it's been creamed. About to throw in my eggs and all that stuff. And then we'll see how it goes. I'll check back in. So I need to move this fish sauce because I can smell it and it's jacking up the aroma that should be coming from this cake. And it doesn't matter how far I move it, it's still gonna be strong. And I love it because it's amazing and adds depth and umami, and I love it. However, not for this dish. Anyway, using the coconut sugar, which is much darker and looks more like brown sugar, even though it's not, does change up the look of said cake batter, but it is nice and smooth. Tastes fine. A little chalky, but I actually think that's the glutinous rice flour since it's still raw. So I'm about to pop it in a 350-degree oven, and we'll see how it turns out. I did just realize I only did half a teaspoon of vanilla, and I should have done a full teaspoon of vanilla. Minor quirk. Also, it dawned on me about halfway through this process, my experimentation process, that this is an expensive experiment, because if it goes awry, it's coconut milk, it's glutinous rice flour, it's butter. However, how will you ever learn if you don't try? So we'll see how it goes. See you in about an hour. Fresh out the oven. Now I've made this dish a couple times, and so I'm pleased. If I have like errant pieces of butter that don't get incorporated well, then it pulls at the top in a weird way. Now in some ways I like the texture of that, taste-wise, but it's weird and kind of greasy. The other upside, having made this a couple times, the first time I made this, there was a whole lot of butter and grease that pulled at the bottom. And the last two times I've made it, I've managed not to do that. This thing takes forever to cool, and you're not supposed to cut it until it does. And so I need to give it probably another, I just pulled it out. So probably at least 8:30, it'll still be warm, but I can at least consider possibly opening it then. This is not remotely cooled, and instead of leaving it be, I keep digging into it, especially the edges. The edges are gooey. The original recipe does not call for salt. The first time I made it, I didn't put any salt. It's hella bland. What I might try to do, now that I think about it, is make it with salted butter, but I still don't think there would be enough salt. So I just put in a couple of pinches. I need to measure though. Start with like 1/8 of a teaspoon and go up from there, because it's not enough. So I end up sprinkling some on top. At any rate, delightful! Come at my house, I'll give you some. Hope you're having some delightful too.